Alright, responding to some more comments about Genjutsu does not work on One Piece characters. I have to disagree, Happy, and for several reasons. Just because both contain spiritual energy doesn't mean that you can equivocate the two. Chakra is the unique combination of spiritual and physical energy, not just the spiritual energy. Genjutsu would not work on something like haki just because they have the same component. That's like saying if I can control water, I can therefore control oxygen because water is made with oxygen. So the fundamental flaw in that logic is the fact that they actually do control separately both taijutsu, which is the physical element here, and then when they control spiritual energy, or they combine the two, they end up with chakra, as it says here. And in order to achieve Genjutsu, they actually need to use spiritual energy. So they're able to control both spiritual energy, and then you also have characters that use solely physical energy, which is why they have taijutsu. So yes, it is like saying if I can control water, I can control oxygen, because Hishimoto explicitly said that he could control both oxygen and carbon. If we're going to use this analogy, like he literally said that they have to mold their spiritual energy and their physical energy. But if we're actually getting into Boruto, they no longer need to do that. They can actually just use Shinjutsu, which allows them to do anything. So the higher level of intellect, the more things that they're able to do in the Boruto verse. Just because they have the same name, aka both haki and chakra also use spiritual energy, doesn't mean they effectively work the same. Well, obviously the abilities that they produce using spiritual energy may be different. But the example that you give in your next comment over here, I don't think there's enough evidence to claim that they're even remotely similar, since you can't see the future with chakra alone. This further goes to show me that you haven't actually seen all of Naruto and Boruto, because in Boruto they can see the future. And not just only the future, they can see every single possible future. And we know that anyone with Shinjutsu actually does have the capacity to eventually unlock the ability to see all possible futures. As we can see here, the ability to see all possible futures. And this is where Kashin Koji, who unlocked this ability, is actually educating Boruto on all of the negative futures that can't happen, otherwise they will end. And he's using chakra. And because he chose to use his chakra to power an ability, or the types of abilities known as Shinjutsu, yes, he's actually able to, see the future using chakra. But since the question was sort of like, does Genjutsu in Naruto work like that? The reason why I brought up that Boruto feat is the fact that, as we've seen, the higher level of intellect, so in other words, if they're like an Asutsuki level, the more power they have. And this is just consistent through all of Naruto. We started with, like really low level people that don't know anything about chakra, like humans. And then Hagoromo taught them how to use their chakra. So then from there, they developed ninjutsu. Because remember, Hagoromo's original power was the power to share, which was ninshu, not ninjutsu. Ninjutsu was what the humans created as like a way to try kill each other. And now we're going from ninjutsu to shinjutsu, which is what Boruto's going into. And that goes back to the definition of Genjutsu. It's something that works on your opponent's five senses. It's a jutsu requiring quite a high level of intellect. And the higher intellect you have, you're able to catch more people in your Genjutsu. Itachi can just use his fingers. He can use other people's illusions. Like he touched Kurenai's tree, and that literally turned her Genjutsu on her. He can use his crows. We have the infinite Tsukuyomi, which can literally trap anyone and anything, including literal dogs, cats, animals, everything on the planet. They don't even have to be looking at the infinite Tsukuyomi. It just traps anyone on the planet. Like once you've activated the Tsukuyomi, anyone that's on the planet will basically be caught in it. They don't even need to be making contact with the light or anything like that. And then as we get further again, Ada literally caught the entire planet in a Genjutsu, or Shinjutsu to be more exact, where she changed the literal history of everybody on the planet. So it's for this reason that even people that are not users of chakra will be affected by reality warping. Because depending on who's using Genjutsu, they will be able to use it on almost anybody. And basically, it's consistent within Naruto. The more powerful person you are, the more people that you're capable of trapping in a Genjutsu. As I gave an example in my video, Obito, using base Sharingan, was able to put the Nine-Tails Fox into a Genjutsu. He was also, Itachi that is, was able to basically trap Kurama in a Genjutsu, despite Killer Bee explaining that a Jinchuriki should never be able to be caught in a Genjutsu, since Kurama would just wake him up. But Itachi managed to, obviously knock out Naruto, which means he also knocked out the fox. So Itachi using base Genjutsu was more powerful than a Nine-Tails Fox. And remember, he did it with his fingers, which is all in that video. Now, I did actually take into account how haki could potentially counter Genjutsu or illusions, but the main reason why it wouldn't is the way that Genjutsu has functioned in Naruto is the more powerful you are, as I gave an example, Itachi is a really powerful Genjutsu user, you can't stop him. Like, even if you were the Nine-Tails Fox, who was able to destroy the world and turn it to ash, was unable to defend himself against Genjutsu. Now, this nine-tailed fox is comparable to Whitebeard, who is a very powerful haki user, who has very powerful Conqueror's haki, and arguably the strongest in the verse. And if Itachi was to use Genjutsu on Kurama, who is equivalent in power, Whitebeard would also be able to basically be caught in a Genjutsu. Because the scale of people that the Naruto verse are fighting are far more powerful. There isn't a single person in One Piece that's taken over the entire ninja world, or the entire One Piece world. We have in Naruto, Madara. We also have Ada. We have many people with Shinjutsu. So it's not headcanon. Maybe in One Piece it would be headcanon. But we just don't see any psychological defense using haki against Genjutsu users. Especially to a degree that Genjutsu users are using Genjutsu, like taking over everybody on the entire planet. We've never seen anyone in One Piece defend against this. See, Sasuke was able to defend against it because he had the Rinnegan. So we know that in Naruto, they have people that are able to defend against planetary level illusions. So it would be headcanon to say that a One Piece character could use haki to defend against a planetary affecting illusion in Crossverse. So these are all like pretty simple to understand, I think. But if you have any further comments or things or disagreements with what I said in the video, let me know and I'll respond to them.